Welcome back to Nail Babe Pod, a podcast dedicated to interviewing the nail babes of the nail world. Of course, I'm Abe, the nail babe, but the traits of a nail babe are not exclusive to me, as you'll soon learn with this week's nail babe, Cerise from Glossy Tipped. I should have asked her if she has an alt page named Matte Tips. Glossy Tips, Matte Tips. Anyone? I'm not funny. Anyway, you may know Cerise from her viral aura nails. Like we'll learn in this episode, she created her page a little over a year ago and has quickly grown, in part to her viral moments, but also using her fine arts background, which we get into in this episode. We talk about the pros and cons of regular polish versus gel, opinions coming from content creators. So without any further ado, oil those cuticles and lotion your hands and welcome Cerise to the pod. Well, I'm so excited to welcome Cerise from Glossy Tipped on Instagram and everywhere.
Hi, Abe. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. I'm obsessed with your nails, your nail account, your sponging nail art. I feel like we got a little taste of this with the Anna E episode. She was telling us about that, and we mentioned, we're like, okay, Glossy Tipped, she's the one we need to talk to because I feel like you're the expert. I will claim that for you.
It's so funny you say that. And then when I heard the episode, I was like, it's so funny to hear that because I saw like Lights Lacquer doing the sponges. I saw a bunch of other girls doing the sponges, and I was like, oh, I got to get in on that. So I think we all kind of just feed into each other, honestly, with all the inspo. Like,
no, for sure. Yeah, no, like that was the pool nails that I saw Base Coat Stories do, and then like I did, and then like that did well, and I was like, let me do that again. And you're just like, I've been like pumping out the pool nail. I honestly should do another one. I feel like I haven't done one in a while, but those like were doing so well. I know.
For sure.
But I'm like, I got that from Base Coat Stories.
I think I did that at one point too, but I didn't do it like pool. I just did like a bubble sort of thing, like a long time ago. Yeah, but yours really did well.
I know. Really cool. Okay, that's also, we were talking about a little bit before about this, but like you do gel, you do regular nail polish, you do nail art, you do a little bit of gel X. I'm wondering how this, because you have beautiful natural nails.
I do.
And I'm like wondering, you're like, we know.
No, because I've stuck with the natural nails for so long. Like, I know there's a lot of people who like they find it easier to do press-ons and stuff, but I'm just like, they're already on me. It's like easier to just work with that. So yeah. I just want to try everything, honestly.
I'm just like, that was what I was saying with like pool nails. It was gel, obviously. And then I wore peel off base coat because that's what I do. I don't ever wear gel actually on my nails. I think I did it like once on my Cindy hand. I was like, when I removed that, I was like, I am never doing that again. That was the worst experience. But I could only wear my pool nails for like a day. And I was like so mad because like I wanted to keep them on forever.
I know. Yeah. The soaking off is like a whole other thing. Like, no, we're not going and soaking off every time. Absolutely not. No. Okay. Like I can make it last if I have to.
With a peel off?
Like like I'll do the like full gel application and like soak off like if I'm wearing it for like a weekend or something like that. But like, no, for my content, it's just peel off for sure.
Yeah. So, okay. But like, I don't know, peeling off like on natural nails, I just feel like it's not the vibe. If you want to like also like use your natural nails for like content and stuff. I don't know.
Somehow it works. I also like use a lot of cuticle oil and I feel like it just smooths everything over.
Yeah, like, no, for sure. Cuticle oil solves everything.
Yeah.
But I was looking at your stories too. Like you had shown like your nail damage at one point.
Yeah, like, that was like this hand, which I don't care that much about. Okay, yeah. And so I ripped it off at one point and I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But like, I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to like test and see what works. So I was like, yeah, trying to see what made it look better and what kind of fixed the damage.
What do you remember what you did?
It was the OPI repair thing, the serum. Oh, yeah.
I have been using that.
I really wanted to try that, and it worked really well for me. So
yeah, I feel like I use it a little bit too when I remember. I feel like I just always forget to wear it, but like I feel like I wore it on my Cindy hand for whatever, like twice a day for like 10 days or whatever the thing was supposed to do, and like I really felt a difference.
I feel like I don't know what exactly is in it, but I feel like as soon as you put it on, it makes a difference. But I'm like, okay, I'll just use it.
No, for sure. Like, so now if I have like a little like chip or something, I'll like put it on.
Yeah. We all have to have our little tricks because,
Mm-hmm.
things can go wrong at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
We've only got 10 nails. That's all we got.
And also only 5 that I care about.
Poor Cindy. Poor Cindy.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to your origin story, right?
Oh, of
I
course.
like to have people give us their Sparknote versions to give us the background of how they got into nail polish. My example is simply analogical, COVID boredom, and self expression.
Okay. I'm going to say, I thought about this a little bit, but I'm just going to say, I think, first of all, like artistic expression, just like a creative outlet to have some sort of outlet, and self care. Definitely self care. I think that's a case for everyone, at least, who's really into doing it like we are. You can't do it all the time without finding some like self care enjoyment in it, right? It's therapeutic, you have your time to yourself. And it's just like something about painting your nail and like doing it well is very satisfying too. It's like it itches that like perfectionist part of my brain. Definitely the self care.
That was like how I got into it. Was like I was watching like all these YouTubers and it was just it was so satisfying. The way they could just
Mm-hmm.
like perfectly do it. And I was like, I want to do that. And like I feel like I always had long, hard nails. Like I just feel like I have strong nails. Which is like it was like always a thing growing up. I feel like people would be like, oh, why, the whole thing.
You're genetically blessed.
Honestly, I am. I got
We love it.
my nails from my grandmother, but like no one else in my family has like nice nails. It's just like right to me. So
Yeah, yeah. So I have like pretty good nails, but I think for mine, it's more like the structure of the nail. Like it's like kind of got that curve to it. So they tend not to break that easily.
okay. Yeah, the C curve. Or like what do you mean? The other curve?
It's like an
The apex?
apex almost,
Okay.
but like it's my actual nail that's just kind of curved. So I think that helps.
Yeah, for sure. Like I have such a strong C curve. I mean, I think other people have
Yeah.
stronger, but like mine are like half circle. So
Yeah,
then
that
like
too.
that really makes it stronger.
Yeah, definitely. And people ask me, they're like, "Oh, how are you able to grow your nails? Like what kind of like supplements do you use?" And I'm like, it's just the structure. Like everyone's nails are different. Different things work for different people, right?
I know that was like when I first started growing out my nails in quarantine for like the first time. I just like kind of let them grow, which like honestly, it's kind of embarrassing to look at the photos because they're like, what was I doing? But they got like so long, obviously, because I wasn't doing anything and I was like being careful. I can't remember. It was like I have a photo. It was like I measured them. It was like 2 centimeters or like something like free
Oh my
edge.
God. I can't imagine that because I think of you having like the clean short nails.
Yeah.
We all
No,
had
but
that. We all
like
had the phase.
yeah, I was just like, let's see how far I can take this. And they didn't ever curve. They just like grew straight out of my finger. They didn't curve down at all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was weird.
They must be very strong then.
Yeah, they are.
That's
So that's I'm
crazy.
like, yeah, people are like, what supplements? And I'm like, I don't like cuticle oil. Like there's like
I mean, there's things that work. Like, there's things that help most people. Like, cuticle oil is great. Like, not getting water absorbed in your nails is going to be helpful. And, like, trying serums and things like that, like, obviously it's going to help you. But, like, the reason why they break, I feel like, is the structure of your nail, right? Like, that's the main thing. And that's why I'm, like, really into builder gel too, is because, like, it's just, like, amazing to be able to have that extra layer on your nail and just not have to worry about it breaking because you're like, okay, it's like structurally sound and you can make it structurally sound if you don't have like curved nails, right? So I just think it's
yeah.
really cool.
No, for sure. Like my mom has like such flat, like such thin nails too. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there's nothing I could like like she's just very like natural, like doesn't want a lot of like stuff. Like I had an extra repair mode, so I gave her that and she's been using that because like her nails would like peel and now they don't peel as much because like she's been using
Mhm.
repair mode. So that was been
Not
good.
sponsored.
Yeah. Honestly, OPI, where are you? Sponsor the pod.
Maybe a little bit sponsored.
I mean, they did sponsor a post like when it first came out.
Mm.
Did they do
They
that? I
didn't
thought.
sponsor me, but I still love
Oh.
it.
I saw that you were on their email last week.
Yeah, someone else mentioned that too with the serum.
Did they pay you for that?
The photo?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
just double check. I always like to check.
No, yeah. I do photos like whenever I record a video for them for like UGC. I also like the packages with a photo too.
Okay.
So there's like usage included. Yeah.
Okay. So that's nice. That's exciting. Yeah, I loved repair mode. So then were you always painting your nails as a kid?
Yes. I've always been into nail polish, but I wasn't like, doing any crazy nail art or anything like that. I was just into like trying it and like messing around with it. So I would paint my nails, of course. I'd never been into like going to the salon. So I'd always paint my own nails for like school, whatever. When I got into high school, I got into more of like art. I was like an art kid kind of. So I got my like, I guess, creative juices out through like painting and stuff like that. I was in like a high school program for the arts. So I was kind of leaning into that. And then I went to art school for university. So I was just like in the fine art sort of thing for like 8 years. And we can talk a little bit about that, but like not too much because like trauma.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, the critiques were like a lot.
Okay. Why is it that like the arts, because like in my like college, like in the university, you had like each college. So I was in the College of Architecture, Art, and Planning. And like, so I'd spent a lot of time with the artists. They're so mean in critiques.
I think it's
like,
a little bit of a power trip.
I think it must be. Like, I remember like the architects, it was weird because like we would never critique each other in like a formal critique. When you'd have a critique, it would just be the professors and we'd all just be like half dead, like asleep in the background being like, and then if like for some reason they would ask like what you thought, you'd always try to like give them a compliment. You never tore anyone else down because you're like, we saw you working at 3 a.m. Like we know like you can't handle a harsh critique. But then the artists, I would like look in, they're like, it's ugly. I just don't like it. And you're like, where did that come from?
Oh my gosh. No, I think like when it comes to critiques, I really think that it helps more to give like a compliment or like let people know what's working well, because they'll kind of follow down that road and kind of get a better sense of like what they're good at and what their strengths are, as opposed to just like tearing it down all the time, because that can be just like really hard on you, right? And it kind of like makes you lose your motivation too. So yeah, I just think it's great to like hype people up and, have fun with what you're doing. That's definitely like an art thing.
That's so weird. And it's also like you're doing that to your peers and it's just like, it's like weird, like competition. I don't know if that's like.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like a lot of the time for the like professors, they just kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's like their second job or something. Like primarily they're an artist. This is like a secondary thing. So they maybe just don't like care too much about it when it comes to art specifically. I don't know. And they just kind of like want you to improve what you're doing, like be blunt about it and that kind of thing.
Were the professors also like blunt like that?
That's what I felt. It was more the professors. Like this wouldn't be that bad. Yeah.
Maybe it's just like there was a few students that like really prided themselves in like like being like always speaking their mind. And I'm like, bitch, I don't think you actually know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. Art school is a whole thing. But yeah. So basically I got my like, artistic creative outlet out through the fine arts from like high school to university. And then when I graduated, I was like, oh, like, I guess I don't have my creative outlet anymore. So I got like more into the nails again. After that, I was like, okay, I need to switch gears a little bit. But at that point in time, I was just doing like really simple nails, like Funny Bunny and like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant at first, I was like, what kind of nail art is Funny Bunny? Like you're doing a bunny nail? No. A nude.
Like a milky white or like a burgundy or something like that. And just like doing my own nails. And also when you're doing art, your hands get super messed up too. Like the charcoal drawings, I'd have charcoal under my nails and stuff. So I was like, I was not really taking pride in my hands and my nails at that time. So I think when I graduated, I was just like, I actually want to like look nice and presentable. And so I got into like trying to figure out the best way to like make it look nice. And I got into the like cleaning up the cuticles with like the brush and, perfecting it kind of. And yeah, I only started my Instagram account last spring.
Oh.
Yeah, like around March or April, I want to say.
Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
So you grew really
And
fast.
I grew really fast this year. I wasn't growing
Okay.
super fast last year.
I don't know if that's just what happened because like I know like yeah it was like one summer that like I skyrocketed and then it's just kind of like now it's like consistent like slow.
Yeah.
But
The algorithm's a whole other thing. Yeah, I think it comes in waves for sure.
were you painting your nails at all in college or not as much because you didn't take care of your hands as much?
Yeah, like I really didn't take care of them. So I kind of did a bit of a 180 because I was really like, they're really scrappy. There's like just charcoal and like I use acrylic paint a lot. So it's like it
Okay.
just dries onto your hands. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the point of me painting my nails if it's going to get messed up the next day?
I remember like in my last because I was painting my nails like well since 2020 and I remember during my last semester my thesis I was still painting my nails but then like I literally have photos of me like every time like I would chip or like break a nail like I would just have photos of my nails just, and like hands like wrecked like bloody cut up like everything because I was like building my thesis like I was doing like
Oh,
these huge like
yeah.
plaster molds and like I was building all these like
You did
curtain things and
architecture?
like
Is that what you did?
yeah yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it was
That's
just
crazy.
like, yeah, it was just like terrible. And I remember like being like, oh, my poor hands, but I have to like, this is what you got to do. Like,
Is that like artistic? Like the architect? I guess it is, right? It's got
it
like
is
the
like,
creative aspect to it.
I mean, there are two different like types of architecture school, and you can kind of
Hmm.
tell now this is just about anyone who wants to study architecture, let me know. Like, normally it's like if it's a school of like architecture and engineering, then it's like more math, technical, probably what people think architecture is.
Yeah.
But then if you have a school of like architecture, art, like fine arts, then it's more on probably on the creative side, which
Yeah.
is what I did, which is more
Yeah.
like creative.
I think it's really cool how like a lot of us come from a creative background too. It just like carries over really well.
I was curious if like any of the artists they would talk about like nail art that's not real art or like things like that.
I mean, people have their prejudices about nails, which I
Yeah.
find really weird. Sometimes I'll get comments like on my viral videos, which tend to attract like all kinds of people, and they're just like fake, fake, fake. And it's like, why would you even bother commenting that?
They
But
say
people get worked
fake?
up. Yeah, like with the
What does that
viral
even mean?
because it's not your real nail. It's like, gel or something.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know why, but some people get worked up about like nails, people
I
doing
know like
nails.
when I first started, I think I was like natural nails are the best and like fake nails is cheating. And then I tried to like do a fake nail or like an extension and I was like, this is not easy. Like it is not easy. Like it's so like it's equally as hard. It's a completely different thing. I'm like, this is respect in its own right. Like
Yeah, making them look good is hard. Like you can do it, but making it look like seamless is hard. There's a
yeah.
lot to
And
it.
like people just like see the perfect videos of like, oh, you just slap on this and put a gel and cure and you're done. It's like,
Yeah.
no, there's more to the story.
Yeah. There's a lot when it comes to like application of different types of products, which is why I'm kind of interested in trying them because I'll see something and I'm like, that looks really cool in a video, but like, how would that actually work when I do it on myself?
Like
Right?
what?
Like Gel X, the
Oh,
application of a Gel X like nail, that's kind of tricky. Like it's actually easy to do it, like to just apply it. But when you want to make it look really seamless, there's a lot of like filing involved and like, the application techniques, but it's fun and you get the hang of it after a little while and it's cool.
like we said, you've like used lots of products. You use regular nail polish, you use gel. I feel like I want to, I'm like, give us a sound bite. I'm like, what are the pros and cons of each like, I guess regular polish versus gel. I will also jump in, but give us your
Okay.
take. What are the pros and cons of each?
Oh, okay. I'll do both. I'll do like, I think my feed is pretty much like half and half
Okay.
gel and regular polish because I just love both. There's different designs that you can do with both. Like the aura nails, you can't really do with gel. And I love doing those.
Because it gets
So
all over your skin,
it gets all
basically.
over your skin. Yeah. And like, I think the gel wouldn't apply the same way. So I love regular polish for like that kind of nail art or ombres, like the sponging. Gel has a lot of different types of products that you can use. Like there's the blooming gel. There's like the chrome. There's all these different things that you can play around with. So there's a lot of variety out there with gel. Gel-X is really fun too. Like the process of it is really cool and fun. And it looks perfect. Like once you put it on, your nail is perfectly shaped, and it's very satisfying to me because my nails are very warped and funny looking.
Oh, really?
I feel like they're not like symmetrical. So when I put on the Gel-X, I'm like, oh, wow, they're perfect. And the builder gel is just a lot of fun to sculpt, like with the form and everything like that. It's like satisfying to make it look like it's your actual nail, but it's not.
I also love how, I mean, obviously people know gel doesn't dry by air. You have to put it under the lamp. So like doing nail art, it's so much easier with gel because you can just like, if you don't like it, just wipe it off or like keep adding and it'll self-level. Like regular polish just gets so gloopy as it's drying and you're trying to like paint tiny lines. Like it's impossible.
Yeah, that's true. Gel has its positives for sure. Like I think the main positive for gel is that you can take your time with it. And even with just applying a simple flat color with gel, you can really take your time and get it like really clean around the edges. You don't have to worry about the brush strokes like you have to worry about with regular polish. So that's really nice when I even just want to do a clean manicure of just a solid color. I love gel for that. I find regular polish lays flatter for me because my nails are very curved. I don't want to add too much extra volume to them. So I do like regular polish because it dries down a little bit flatter. I love that.
Also, like, I don't know what it is, but like regular polish, it like almost jumps to your cuticle if you get too close.
It's
But
runnier.
like, I guess that's what it is. It's just like when you have like two water droplets and you like put them together slowly, they like jump and like connect. Like that's what it does under my cuticle. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like I'm trying to like get close, but then it just like under there. Whereas like,
And then you get the satisfying video of you cleaning it up after.
well, that's the diamond in the rough. Which have been doing well for me lately. I'm like, oh, okay, you guys want to see cleanup? Sure.
I love watching those.
But then gel, like, it's so sticky, you can get really close and it'll never like jump to your skin. It'll just like, so it's a lot easier to not get it on your skin, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But like, my problem is, I guess I just don't actually apply gel directly on the nail. I always use a peel off base coat. So then like, I just feel like it doesn't provide any protection for my corners, basically, because I have such square nails the way I like them, nice and sharp, that like it will just, they like end up chipping more when I use gel or like a peel off base coat because there's nothing, I'm like basically naked nails. And I think that they're more strong because I have like, heavy gel on them, but I'm just like, boop, boop, done, broken. Everything's broken.
Whatever works for like different things work for different people. Like that's a lot of the time people like will come to me for like recommendations on certain things. And it's like, okay, well, what has worked for you? And just keep going with that, right? You don't have to try something completely different because it's worked for someone else. There's so many options out there. There's so many different products, so many different techniques, so many different like tips and ways to like apply things that, it's just, you have to figure out what works for you. You have to put in the hours.
Unfortunately.
You have to practice and put in the hours, yeah.
Or it's also like you have to go to the root of the problem. Like I was talking to this one follower. She was like, oh, my gel keeps like chipping. And I'm like, are you like dehydrating the nail plate? Are you like buffing a little bit? Like, are you like doing it too thick? What type of base coat? Like a top coat and like all that. And she's like supposedly doing it all right. And I'm like, well, why are you using gel in the first place? She's like, oh, I just like want to make sure it like is fast drying. So like, because I have a kid now and I'm like, well, do you use like fast dry top coat? Like you could just do that with regular polish and you'd probably be good. And she's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, so you don't need to be using gel really.
Yeah. You know what? Regular polish really has its strengths. Like I think people underestimate it. Like if you can get it to last, if you use a good base coat, use a good top coat and good quality nail polish, like it can last for a while and look really good and look really clean too.
I would wear it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like by then it's like so grown out that I'm like, yeah, I don't. Well, my nails grow really fast, but how did you learn how to do this all?
Like just practice, really. I think that's what it comes down to it. And I'm always like willing to try different things. Like I'll see something and I'll try it and I'll practice it. And over and over again, you get better at it, I think.
For me, it depends on like what I'm doing, obviously, but like for nail art, I have to like a lot half of it I almost like have to do it off camera because I just like have to like get the right angle because I'm like so far away almost. I
Mm,
don't know if that's the same for you. Like how much are you like is everything on camera? Or are you like doing stuff off camera too?
no, I definitely do stuff off camera too. That's
Okay.
where the screwing up happens a little bit. But yeah, I'll mess up off camera sometimes and just like redo it if I have to. For when it comes to nail art tutorials for like the short form videos, you don't have to show everything. You just have to show the important bits. People get it, right? You definitely don't have to like literally show every brush stroke. That becomes a lot. I'll just show the important bits. So the actual filming doesn't take that much extra time for me, which is easier.
I feel like that is a good reminder for people too that like I even like there's this one Russian nail creator that I follow who I don't even know how to say her name. But she never actually shows like her doing the nail art. She just kind of like shows each step and then she kind of just like mimes like brushing on each layer. But it just like
Yeah,
goes like each layer she'll like show in the video, which like also I'm like, yeah, that I got it. Like you painted those
it
layers.
works.
Like, yeah, she's showing step by step. So like some people, if you have a hard time like filming each thing and like you could just even try just doing like step by step showing in a video.
I had a hard time with filming for a long time, actually. So I had my page since like spring last year, my Instagram, but like I only really started filming nail art tutorials earlier this year, like Jan Feb, because I was like, how can I film that? Like I screw up so much and like there's so much like handshaking and stuff. How could I possibly film like nail art? And then I realized about that thing that you said that you just have to like show certain parts of it. You don't have to show everything. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And it worked.
Yeah. I mean, like hugely viral videos. Your that blue what do you call it? You called it a grunge aura. Like
Yeah,
one
I
that's
got
like
some.
pinned
Yeah.
on the both your Instagram and your TikTok both have like over like almost 60 million views each, which like
Yeah.
insane. My most viewed video is my Polished Mountain, which is like 35 million. And like I was like, wow, like that's a lot, which like it is. But then like all you're like 60 million, I was like, okay, like twice as
It's a
much.
lot. It's crazy that like that many people are watching it. I don't know. I think it fit like the fall vibe kind
Because
of.
you
Like I
just posted it. When did you post that?
think a month or two ago. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
which is like crazy.
Yeah, that one really did really well, but
Is that
like
the most viewed one you have?
yeah, like
Yeah.
by far. I think the previous one was like half of that or something.
Yeah. Wait, so why did you call it grunge aura?
I just think the colors are kind of like muted and grungy, but I got some flack for the using the word grunge like on TikTok
Oh, really?
from like yeah, the music snobs came for me.
What were they saying?
And they were like, grunge isn't fashion. It's just a music genre or something.
It
Like
is? I didn't even know that.
you didn't know grunge is a music genre?
I thought it
I think that's where
no.
it started. So it's like a music genre, like punk rock, kind of like
Oh.
grunge. Probably. Yeah, I'm not
I thought it
really.
was like TikTok, just like lingo of like, oh, it's grunge. Like
No, but
gross.
I
Or
think
like,
it's become that. Like I at
yeah.
this point to me, grunge is like kind of a fashion thing. I don't know. The music snobs would hate that I said that, but like
Well, I didn't even know they existed, so whatever. Come for me.
seriously,
I don't
they come out
care.
of the woodwork to comment on a nail art video
It's so
every
annoying.
time.
You're
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's
I called it
engagement
grunge
though, I
for the
guess.
colors. Yeah, it's engagement. But yeah, I called it grunge for the colors.
But you've done like we were talking. I said you were the queen of the gradient aura nails.
Oh my gosh. I can't take that title. There's so many people doing the amazing ones.
Well, the views back it up. No, I know. I
It's
love
just the
your.
views. Yeah.
No, I'm like I also love your content.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love your content so much too. So
Thank you.
we all get inspired by each other. We love it.
Mhm. What was? Do you remember the first like the first aura nails tutorial you did? Like what was that? Because I
I
feel like
did some in
that's
the
like
summer.
okay. So how did
Yeah,
that like come about? Because I feel like this has been a recurring style on your page, right?
I guess so. I didn't think about that. It's interesting to hear that though. I do like gradients. I think it's fun.
I feel
But
like I was scrolling through your TikTok and I feel like a lot of the ones that were like millions of views were those type of like the green or a nail one was like one recently and like I don't know, do you
yeah.
I look at like what performs the best on my page and like historically it's been those like one stroke videos, like those have always like gone really well on my page. Which like recently it's been a little bit different like with the pool nails and I guess like me trying to like do more nail art, like those have
You've
popped
had a
off.
lot of really great videos that have done really well too. Yeah.
Thank you. But I'm wondering like if you look at that and like what you see trends in your content and like what you like to do versus like
Hmm.
what pops off the most.
Yeah, so like I absolutely do look at what does well and what people want to watch. I've always been into like trying different nail art techniques that kind of are like eye grabbing, like the sponge sort of thing or like the jelly stamper and something that like you're like, "Oh, what's going to happen? Like what's kind of like what's this tool going to do?" So I've always been
Mm.
into that like myself. So I know that people like to watch that from me. And when I started doing the auras, those did well in the summer. Not as well as the recent one, but those did well in the summer. So I did the recent one for fall, and that did quite well. So I did more of them. So I have a lot of those now. But I think like overall, my theme is that like I think what people like to watch from me is something that's kind of really captivating and fun. Yeah.
What do you think it is about these sponges? Like, I don't know, like, because you like the first shot is you like putting nail polish on a sponge, right? Like, I feel like that is
Yeah.
kind of like consistent in the videos.
Yeah, it is. It's fun to see like this is the beginning, this is the middle, and this is the end of the video. It's like a storytelling thing in a way, right? And I think nail polish tutorials lend themselves really well to engaging storytelling content because you see the process, you see like what it's starting with, you see like the application of it, and then you see the final product, which is cool to watch. You like to see like something happening, the reaction, and like the final outcome, right?
I feel like that
So,
also, now that you also say about like the stamper, because you'll like put polish on a stamper and like smear it all over your nails and finger, like that, which like people see that, same with like the sponge. It's like, this looks like trash. It's all over the skin. Like, what's going to happen? And then you like clean it up and then you get like this beautiful shot of like perfect nails. I think that's
mm,
also something that catches. I'm just now putting these pieces together. I'm like,
yeah,
people don't know that you can clean up, polish, and like make it look great. So when they see
yeah,
like it all over the skin, they're like, "What?"
yeah. People are fascinated by like a cleanup brush, which is something I take for granted. I'm like, oh yeah, it's acetone on a cleanup brush, but everyone's like, what is that? Like, what's that liquid? And I feel like I just rock their world a little bit.
Mm, yeah, for sure. Like, what is that brush?
Yeah.
I feel like that. I mean, that also was like something that I feel like I love that about like filming or like set design of that whole like back of house versus front of house of like again that whole like messy finger that you like clean up. Like you don't see that process when you just see the final like nail photo. But like I'm wondering, I guess tying it back to like your fine arts experience. Like I don't know, like what if you have that like trusting the process like of painting. I don't know, like I haven't done a lot of painting, fine art painting.
Now
Um,
that you say that, that's definitely a thing. Like, it's kind of satisfying that, like, you know, when you're doing a painting, it starts out with like, you'll kind of put in the background really roughly with bigger brush strokes and just get it all out there. So the canvas is covered. And then, you know, you'll go in with a tiny brush and do all the details, right? So it's kind of how it works. You kind of have to make it look worse before it looks better sometimes. It's just the
yeah,
process.
for sure. I think a lot of like nail art, it's like that. You're like, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You're like, oh, like top coat. You're like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
or like you just put your hand far away. That's something I also struggle with. Like, I don't know. I like to do like up close. Like, I like to have my videos pretty up close. But then, like, sometimes you need to be further away to like get the effect of like, oh yeah, yeah, I can see where that was. Whereas like up close, you're like, that's just like a bunch of blobs. Like, I don't know what you're trying there.
Interesting.
I don't know, but you mostly do full hands.
I do on my page. I
Yeah.
do. I think it's kind of like cool to see the up close though, because like you get all the details of the nail polish. The color shows up really well. But for the final shots, like I'll go a little bit further back and get the full effect.
I thought that's more work though,
For doing what?
to paint the whole hand.
It is. It is. I should do what you're doing, honestly. Work smarter, not harder.
That's when like you get one nail and that's it. I'm not doing a full hand.
And we love it. We love the one nail. You do amazing things with one nail, and that's something really, really cool.
Well, thank you. I'm curious if you have other learnings from your fine arts background that you feel like you've brought over.
That's a great question. The color theory, probably. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if you're following each other at this point, but I had a video that did really well where I like matched my builder gel extensions to my natural nail.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yes. So that did really well. And that was kind of like, I kind of like mixed different colors to get my natural nail color.
Okay, I remember this because you were like, it was like a white. You're like, okay, like white, like a little bit of gray. And then you're like, green.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think about it that hard when I was filming it because I was like, oh yeah, green will like even it out. But then the comments were like, oh my God, you're using green. And it's just like, yeah, it makes the color look a little bit more natural. Yeah.
So what is like, I guess, I don't know. I'm like, teach us color theory in 2 minutes. All of color theory for your degree. Give us the overview.
Okay, taking it back to the basics. We got the primary color.
Okay.
No,
like I'm like curious. I'm like, okay, like yes, okay, whatever. Green, blue, yellow, right? Not green. No, I don't even know. Blue.
Okay, we'll start a little further back.
Yeah, take me back.
No. So for that video specifically, the white is white because like the whites of our nails are generally overall a pretty light color. And then I think I used some brown to make it a little more like neutral, less like a bright white, less, what would you call it?
Stark white.
Yeah, less stark white. And then I used a little bit of the green to kind of cancel out the warmth of the brown and make it like a more nuanced color in the middle instead of being like a super warm brown. It had a little bit of like a bluishness to it, a little bit of like a yellow, which is weird to think about. But yes, our nails are a little bit yellowy. It's just a natural nail color. So,
I guess also when you're saying like, oh, I'm trying to like cool down the like warmth of the, and you like add green, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, green is made out of blue and yellow, which like adding blue makes things cooler. So like that makes sense. I'm like, I'm not thinking that deep into. I'm like green. I don't get it. Like if you divide that,
it's got the blue and it's got the yellow.
You just like divide the colors.
There's a lot to color theory. But maybe I'll play around with that a little bit more in some of my videos because I think it's kind of fun to watch. There are these videos where like artists will mix paint colors I've seen. And it's like, what will the color be? Like before you mix it, you want to like guess what the color will be. I think that's kind of
paint cans.
Or just like a splotch of paint.
Oh, okay.
The paint can ones are cool too.
Like Home Depot paint cans.
Yeah.
But there's also ones where like the artist is like color matching random things in their house.
Oh yeah, that's really fun too. I love color matching stuff. If you know your color theory, you can color match anything. If you have the right gamut of colors, which is like, amount of colors to draw from, you can color match anything. When you have so much nail polish, you have to start mixing them, right?
I feel like I have a intuition with like color theory, but like I don't actually feel like I was ever really taught. Like I feel like that only comes from like photoshopping. I'm like, okay, this needs to be like, it's very red. Let's add some blue. Like, let's even that out. But I don't know. I feel like that would be interesting. I feel like I should YouTube this.
Yeah, it's like a whole rabbit hole. But I mean, if we're doing like photo editing and stuff, there's a lot of like, color correction. That's color theory. Yeah. So it's like intuitive to some degree. You just need to like know what the terminology is, I guess, and then you can apply it.
Yeah, but like if I were to like actually make a skin tone, whatever, nail extension color, I don't think I would be able to do that. Like that is like the next level. Like adding the green, like I would never have thought to do that.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where it's like I didn't really think that hard about that. But like after that took off, I started like taking note of these things that like, oh, people like to see like, I guess like a hook, you'd call it, in the beginning of a video. Yeah, like something like that is interesting to someone. That's going to make them want to like watch the video instead of skipping over it because they're like, I need to see what happens. Like, what's this going to be? Right.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess there's different ways of doing that too. Like I guess that's like the sponge. It's like the stamper. It's the palette.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do. And we have so many different tools and nail polishes to draw from. So it's like, it's never ending, honestly.
Were you mostly doing like fine art paintings in art school, or are you doing like other like mediums too?
I did digital art too, and like
Okay.
Illustrator and stuff like that. My major was illustration, so I did
Oh.
like both fine art and digital stuff, graphic design, all of that. Yeah, it's fun, but I think nail polish is more fun than that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's some parts of architecture I'm like, no, that's fun, and then some parts I'm like, it's not.
Yeah, there's like pros and cons for sure to like every medium.
And now you're doing full time nails.
I am, yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's a very fun thing to be doing, but yeah, it can definitely be a little weird to like, bring up, or just like I guess the lifestyle of like a nail content creator is just a little strange too, right?
I'm like, what? I feel like it's like I don't really have a schedule. I'm just like, I can just paint my nails whenever.
Right? I mean, you can technically do like whenever you want if you have the right lighting set up and stuff, but I try and stick to like a regular schedule or else I'll go crazy.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it's like, I need to be in the right like mindset. Because like,
Mm.
if I'm just like annoyed or like tired, I know it will not be a good video because I'm just going to be like shaking or like annoyed and just like, it's like a lot of times I'm like, oh, I can't film tonight because I'm like not into it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, you're putting your whole body into it basically sometimes. So if you're not fully there, it's like really hard to get it to work. I'll power through sometimes. Usually I'll film like in the middle of the day. So by like a certain time of the afternoon, I'm done. And I just like feel like, oh, I've done what I had to do. I feel better, that kind of thing. Yeah.
I always film at night.
A lot of people say that, but I'm an old lady. I get sleepy.
I don't know if it was just because that was what I did at school. And like it would always just be like I would just take like, honestly, it was like college. I was like, Friday night, I have to paint my nails. Like I have to film my nails painted 20 times in one night. So then I would like stay up late because I'd be like, I should get it through this collection, like this 20-piece collection. Because I don't know who thought that was a good idea
A
to have.
20-piece collection in one night?
Yep, I used to do it.
That's crazy. I understand why you just do the one nail.
Yeah, at that point I was like, I can't do anything more than that.
Yeah.
But like that's how many times I painted that nail. Like do it in my sleep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I'll do like one nail video a day, which I think a lot of people bulk their content. I tend not to. Sometimes I'll do two, depending on like what kind of thing I'm doing. But yeah, so like I guess for a schedule, I'll do like admin stuff in the morning. I'll like post my stuff, different platforms, like respond to comments.
Do you just post the same thing on Instagram and TikTok every day or the same day?
I'm really terrible. So I post consistently on Instagram. The other two, I just kind of like whenever
same.
I feel like it.
Literally same.
Okay. I feel less bad about it now, but TikTok's giving me like nothing. Like I feel like
Same.
I don't care that much because the platform is awful and they don't care about creators on there. So I'll just post when I feel like it.
Although YouTube Shorts, you've been doing well on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, just recently it's like picked up on there. I don't know so in order to get monetized on YouTube Shorts, oh my God.
Are you almost there? Are you there?
I am monetized on YouTube Shorts, but it took 10 million short views. Yeah, but I reached it and I was like, okay, what an accomplishment to be monetized on YouTube, right?
Honestly, it is. Congrats. 10 million views. That's crazy.
It was the same video that the grunge like aura.
Oh, really?
It got like 18 million on there. I was like, what the heck?
I have one that's like at 1.5 right now. And I'm like, just keep going, keep going. Like, I'm hoping that will be the one.
But they can, like YouTube, it's different from Instagram and TikTok. So the views pick up later on.
Yeah.
I think. Whereas like Instagram and TikTok, it's like pretty immediate. Instagram's like the most immediate, I think. And then TikTok and then YouTube, I want to say.
I would agree. I would agree on that.
Yeah. YouTube's a whole other beast.
So then how How much are you making on YouTube monetization?
So that video that I told you that did really well made a fair bit, like a few $100, I think, from that one video. And then like, I don't know, like less than 100 from my other videos in like, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks or something like that.
That's
So I
pretty
want to
good.
say, yeah, it's like better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's like at least another sort of stream of revenue.
Yeah. No, I was gonna like, I guess what
I
are
mean,
your streams then?
oh, well, TikTok and Instagram give me nothing,
Exactly.
which is lovely. Like I think there was like a creator fund or something at one point, but it was of course not available in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I had the creator fund, but it's like I should check it recently, but like it's always been like 10 cents a day. I'm just like, and I don't,
Oh,
that's not gonna do anything. Or like
okay.
now there's like ads on Reels, and like I looked at it and I've made a total of $5, which like great. But I'm like, I don't know what it is. Like you have to use non-copyright music. So I'm just like, none of my posts have that.
Oh,
And
well,
then they
I mean, I
only
guess it's not much anyway then.
Yeah. But I'm like, if I were to like use non-copyright music, I might be like, I mean, this like I got like a random email from like I'm in a Meta Facebook group of like creators.
Oh,
It's like
interesting.
random people from all like niches and everything. And I posted and I was like, are you guys making money from Reels ads? And one guy was like, yeah, I'm making like thousands. And like one person was like, I used to be making millions. And I'm like, who are you? Like,
You know, those are some of like the repost accounts who just like source
probably. I
those
was like,
are
I should
my
post about that in that group because I'm like, what are you guys doing for like stealing content? Nothing. They're not doing anything.
What are you doing for stealing content?
What I do is I put it into a folder that says stolen content, and then that's it. So I keep it,
Wait,
and like I'll look at let me look at how many there are in that folder right now. Actually, what do
okay.
you do?
I do have like a notes app with like, well, I was doing it up until recently. Like, there's been so many recently, I literally can't
No,
keep
you
track
can't
of them.
stop it.
Yeah, from like that one video, it's just like at one point it was like there's like 10 a day or something, just that I was tagged in. I was like, okay, I can't. But like,
Yeah,
I
I have
actually,
800
that's
posts
great.
saved in this folder, which are just the ones that I got tagged in. Like I
Yeah.
don't know the other ones that like are just being reposted. I used to at the very beginning, I used to try to like because there's a form that like Instagram has that you could like fill out and then they'll take down the post. But it's like you have to fill in all this information and
Mhm.
it's just like not worth the time that like, you know.
So I ask because what I was doing up until like a certain point recently, I was like keeping track of all of them. And then like at the end of the week or a few weeks, I would have a list of like, I don't know, 50, maybe like 30 to 50 or something like that. And I would fill out the form and list all of them in the form because you can report multiple at a time.
Oh.
So I was doing that up until a certain point, and I'd report it and I would keep track of like the username and the URL and all that stuff. And then I'd get some like messages from people like, you took down my content. Please put it back up or like
My
retract the report. And like my account is going to get suspended. Please retract your report. So like, and like sob stories about like, I'm just a small business owner or something like that. Like as a fellow content creator, you know, you should all this stuff. So
I've heard of this actually. Someone else was telling me about this.
that was happening. And there have been some occasions where I felt like it was like it was an honest mistake, basically, or they had someone working for them who was like, I don't know, a social media manager, and they took the content without permission, but then it went and affected the business they were working for, whatever. So there's
Yeah, but
some
like
occasions like that where I was like,
okay, but like if you just do that once or twice, Instagram's not going to shut down your page.
well, I think it's 3 times. So if they
Really?
reposted
No,
my
really?
thing, yeah, I think so. If
From the
they,
same person or just in anybody?
well, some of these people would steal like 3 to 5 of my videos.
Yeah.
So just with one report, they could get suspended, or like maybe not suspended, but like their account would be at
Restricted or
risk.
something.
Yeah, something or the other.
I mean, honestly, good.
Yeah.
I don't
But
have any sympathy for people stealing content.
so in some situations that I felt were honest mistakes, I have charged licensing fees to
Oh,
retract the report.
Good.
Like a little fee. And I'm like, if you can pay this small licensing fee, I'll retract the reports and, I'll charge you for the time that it was up. So I've done that. That's like happened occasionally.
I mean, that's how it should be. If people want to use our content and repost, they can pay for licensing our content. It's funny because like you'll get, like if they tag you, you'll see the notifications. They post the same video on like 4 different accounts. And you can see, I'm like, that has to be run by the same person. Because it's the exact same thing, same like hashtag, same like whatever. Like they post at the same time.
Yeah,
they have
so
all these accounts.
Are like, they're the bane of my existence. I get annoyed by it because I'm like,
they have millions of followers.
Yeah, I'm putting in the work. Why are you guys getting the millions of followers just because you can like, spend all day just reposting people's things instead of making it yourself?
Yeah, they just take the most viewed viral videos from all the creators and just repost them. And then I think it was what they do. They sell those accounts.
Yeah. Or they charge people for like promotion on those accounts.
But no one actually cares on those accounts.
I think people are actually out there, like other repost accounts are paying them for promotion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like they'll pay to be something. I don't know.
I remember I did get a DM being someone be like, oh, would you want to buy my account? And I'm like, no.
Excuse me?
I was like, I had my own. And she's like, don't you want an extra one? And I'm like, for why? Like, just a backup account? I guess like, I don't know.
I always wonder if like the brands are buying those accounts because they end up with like thousands of followers just starting out too.
Oh, maybe if like, random people, random brands. I mean, I guess that's how you would buy a follower, basically. That's not just a bot. This is the real stuff that happens in creators' mind. We're like, that person reposted my content again.
I've talked to so many people about this stuff, like through DM. It's like,
and then everyone's just like, yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Seriously, yeah, there's not much you can do.
Well, because on YouTube, if like someone reuses your video in their YouTube video, you can claim that portion of the video, right? And you can get a percentage of the monetization.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At least that's what like I've heard from other. Like I feel like I saw a video about this. So I'm like, yeah, which like actually makes sense. Where I'm like, Instagram, can't you do something like that?
I mean, these platforms like Instagram, they're getting more money because of the rampant reposts. Like people are staying on the app longer. They're able to put in more ads and make money from that. So they have like, a reason why they're not taking more action against them, which sucks for like original creators, we're the ones actually putting in the work. But I think I was really annoyed by that stuff for a while. At this point, I've kind of been like, I'm happy with where I am. Like, I'm kind of grateful for like the opportunities that I have. I like what I'm doing. I get to have fun doing what I like to do. And that's just like the con that I have to contend with in order to do this, right?
Yeah, that's our worst thing.
Yeah. So I try not to get like to think about it too hard and get worked up about that.
The only time I will get like worked up or like actually do something about it, if it's like a brand or like someone selling nail polish using my content, then I'm like, okay, now that I have to either I'm taking that down or like say that I charge a licensing fee. Whereas like if it's just like a repost account, I'm like, I mean, how much are they really making off my post? Like, it's annoying, but like it's not worth my time to try to take that down.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the brands generally are better at that now. I think even in the last year, I've noticed that they're better when it comes to like using people's intellectual property to sell things. And they take certain, even if it's just like sliding into your DMs and asking like, can we use this photo at the very least, right? Like that's better than nothing.
No, for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things like that are frustrating. But overall, I'm like pretty happy. And I think things are going in a better direction too. Even when it comes to like paying creators fairly as well, I think that's getting better in thanks to, I think Crystal is like quite big on that. Just being able to like reach out to someone else and be like, what do you think the budget is for this brand or whatever, right? So I think things are going in a good direction for us, which I'm happy about.
Me too. Crystal is amazing. I like credit her for like helping me with all of this and like getting me to the next level in like all of these partnerships. So we love her.
Yeah, she's doing really good things.
What do you want people to know about you?
I don't know. I'm just a girl that paints her nails.
Yeah. What more could you want?
Not much to it. Seriously, like what more could I want, honestly?
So thank you again for being here, everyone.
Oh, of course.
Follow Glossy Tipped everywhere if you're not already.
Thank you so much, Abe. This has been fun.
Okay. Thanks again to Cerise. Her links will be down below. And now for some comments. Styled Minimalist says, I've been binging these podcasts on my 10-hour drive. Oh, absolutely love these interviews. And this one has been such a fun listen. That was with the Le Macaron episode. Safe travels and I hope you were somewhere fun. Cheyenne XO Nail says, oh my God, oiling my nails now. Thanks, Abe. Yes, use this as a reminder. Like our good friend Nail Art by Sig says, this is your daily reminder to apply cuticle oil. So do it. And with that, if you'd like to leave me a hate comment or a nice comment, I'll take it. It's all engagement. And I will see you next week